The best early pro player classes for Modern Warfare 2 are on the screen right now, and I'm going to be going in depth on each one. Now, if you mainly play public matches and aren't sure how to unlock any of these guns, go to the gun, press the center button right here to look at the weapon progression, and it'll show you how to exactly unlock each variant. Anyways, class number 1, the Abezy / Shotzzy vaznev 9K. Going to the gunsmith right here. Surprisingly, on the Abezy version, there are only 3 attachments. We have the Lockshot KT85 muzzle, which improves the horizontal and vertical recoil control. We're not messing with the tuning on this class quite yet. I imagine somewhere down the road people will end up tuning, but for now we're just using the regular classes. The Ultrazat stock for the aim walking speed and sprint speed with a reduction in aiming stability, and then the True Tac grip down here for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. This class is absolutely insane. I'll show the firing range on the screen right now. Now, if you want to be like Shotzzy, he adds a laser, this one right here, the Schlager, which improves the aim down sight speed, with the only con being that there is a blue beam that comes from your gun when you are ADSing. And before we get into the rest of the classes, I'm on the way to 100k subs. If you don't mind dropping a sub down below, I'll have a lot more videos like this in the future, especially as the classes get updated. But YouTuber plug out of the way, what we're doing for the rest of the class, we have a combat knife to get to places faster, especially in Search and Destroy, or if you're trying to get to the hill and hardpoint or something like that. I've been using flashes and frags. You might want to swap this out for a Simtex, and if you're trying to play more tactically, you can swap to a smoke. But for the most part, what I've seen from the pro players that I've watched is Simtex and flash, and depending on the map, changing to frag if you're trying to get cross map nades. For the perk package, I made a custom perk package with double time, bomb squad, focus, and then the ultimate perk is locked when you're playing on the CDL mode, so that's why this is the way that it is. I have another class that's double time battle hardened in case you're getting stunned and flashed out the wazoo, and then dead silence, of course, for the field upgrade, potentially trading that out for a trophy system, map dependent. Now that that's out of the way, the S&D star himself, Equuip, has a Kastov class that I've been enjoying using. The attachments are here. We have the BR-209 barrel. What this does is makes you a little bit faster in terms of movement speed and aim down sight speed. This gun is technically an assault rifle, so if you change the attachments to have it more like an SMG, you feel a little bit faster on the map and you can move around better. The RF crown muzzle, we have that to improve the horizontal and vertical recoil control. Merc foregrip, of course, for all of those pros there, including everything hipfire related, which will come in clutch in the up close scenarios. We have the demo rear grip for recoil control, and we have the Marquise stock for crouch movement speed. Some of you might be wondering why some of these loadouts are built to crouch movement speed. With the current state of the game being that dead silence is a field upgrade, a lot of people are going to be crouching around the map until they get dead silence, and then they'll push. So anything to improve crouching movement speed at the time is kind of clutch for when you're trying to get places a little bit quieter. Now for the Shotzzy Kastov, it's a little bit different. The Short Tac 330 to improve the recoil control and hipfire recoil control. We have the RF crown, horizontal and vertical recoil control, Merc foregrip for the same reasons as beforehand, True Tac grip for the sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, and then the stockless to make it nice and fast. This gun does not shoot as accurately as the previous one, but as you can probably tell from the build of the attachments, it's a little bit faster. So I imagine this will be a very good variant class, especially as you're going into like the hard points and the control, so on and so forth. Now for Slasher, technically now Atlanta Phase Slasher. He has a Kastov AR class, which is pretty gross. There's no stock on this one, not no stock. There's literally no stock on this one. So I get to keep my camera up. We'll be using the IG K30-406 barrel for the recoil control and bullet velocity, the TZL muzzle to increase the recoil steadiness, the F-Tac Ripper. This is my favorite grip of all the grips. It just makes the gun feel unstoppable, but it improves the aiming, idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. The True Tac grip for sprint to fire and aim down sight speed to make it nice and fast. And then the Slimline Pro has the sight. This class is a ton of fun. It's one of my favorites. We'll get into the Scar a little bit later since it's the most overpowered AR at the moment. But in terms of having a good time, I do enjoy this class. Now, this is not a pro player. This is my boy Kex. He tweeted out an MP7 class, which ended up being a ton of fun. I figured I'd include that just because the pros don't use the MP7, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it and have fun. Here's the class right here. I'll hide my camera. The Schlager, I don't know what that, I don't know. It's to increase the bullet velocity. It makes it a little bit slower, but the gun shoots more powerfully and it needs that, to be honest. We have the Castle Comp for accuracy, the Clean Shot for hipfire accuracy and recoil stabilization, the Soldier Grip for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, and then the Collapsed Stock for speediness. Try this class out. It's not going to be as powerful as the other ones, but you're going to have a good time. Trust me. Now to the absolutely overpowered half of the pro player class setups. This is another interesting one. It's a Cellium STB. That's not what it looks like. That's a glitch for some reason. It's pretty much the AUG, but the AR version. There's no stock and no comb, so my camera can stay here. But we have the rear guard barrel for damage range, hipfire accuracy, and bullet velocity. The Castle Comp, per usual, for vertical and horizontal recoil control. Operator foregrip, which I thought was interesting, for hipfire accuracy and aim walking steadiness. The Stipple grip for recoil control. and then the Slimline Pro optic. Very interesting class, but it beams and it kills fast. And it's literally from Cellium, so like you have to use it. Next one, the Retired Goat. Now I was iffy about this optic at first, but when I tried it, and you'll all see it in the firing range here in a second, it's absolutely worth it. It's a little bit different, but I feel like it shoots a lot straighter. So we have the high tower barrel. This is for bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, so on and so forth. The crown muzzle, we've been using this over and over again, but it's for horizontal and vertical recoil control. No underbarrel, no ammunition, no magazine, which I thought was interesting, but just trust the class for a little bit. We have the X10 grip for sprint to fire and aim down sight speed. The factory stock for aiming stability and recoil control, and then like I said, that Corvus Soul for the sight. Y'all need to trust the process on this one as well. Give this class a go and let me know what you think. It wouldn't let me name these classes for whatever reason, so I apologize about that, but this one is from Clayster. It's a SCAR class. The SCAR is the most overpowered AR in the game right now, so if you're not using this, you're missing out. But what Clayster had on this first class, this is not my favorite SCAR class, the next one actually is, but I figured I'd include this just because it's from the GOAT Clayster himself. We have the Havoc muzzle for horizontal vertical recoil control, the Edge grip underbarrel for the idle stability and recoil stabilization. Similarly to how Shotzzy had the laser from earlier, that blue laser, this one increases the aim down sight speed. They will be able to see your blue laser, but it's not as harsh as the green or the red from the other ones. Clean shot grip for sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, and then the SZ Mini optic. Like I said, I enjoy this class, but it's not my favorite SCAR class. That one is actually up next. This one is from Cellium. It wouldn't let me name it, but it's from Cellium, so you can trust this one as well. The SCAR class is as follows. The 14.5, oh, let me hide my camera as well. The 14.5 Tundra Pro barrel for damage range, bullet velocity. The Komodo Heavy, Komodo, like Komodo Dragon. The Komodo Heavy horizontal recoil control. The Ripper underbarrel, like I said, this is my favorite underbarrel of all of them, so I'm glad that he used it. The Clean Shot grip for sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, and then the X-Line Pro stock. Like I said earlier, the crouch movement speed, which is really important. Same thing with the sprint speed and the aim down sight speed. This class is my favorite. I'm going to be using this pretty much all day or whenever I'm in chows, at least until the SCAR gets banned or nerfed, because you know what's coming. And then the very last class, shout out to Tupac, is the Sniper. Currently the Signal 50, I believe, is banned on most wager websites, so we're going to be using the MCPR. The class is here. We have the 22-inch barrel for the bullet velocity, damage range, the 5-round magazine to make it a little bit faster. Damn it. The 5-round magazine to make it a little bit faster. The Cheetah grip also to make it a bit faster in terms of sprint to fire and aim down sight speed. And then the Merc stock for crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and aim down sight speed. And I don't remember if I mentioned the laser earlier, but the same reasons from earlier with the aim down sight speed. Now I could not find a pistol class, but this is the one that I've been rocking with, the P890. I've only been using 3 attachments: the fire rate trigger, the TAC Ops barrel for movement speed and aim down sight speed, and then the FJX grip for recoil control. This is not the most insane pistol, but it will keep you fast without putting you at too much of a disadvantage if you happen to have to swap the pistol out. One thing I might mess around with today is the pistol fast draw with the Bruin grip. Actually, screw it, I'm gonna use that because I want to be able to swap faster, especially while using a sniper in case I like miss a shot, which I don't, of course, but like if I ever did, then I could swap to my pistol a little bit faster. Anyways, those are the classes. If y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or a sub down below. I'll be making more of these as the year goes on and as the classes get updated. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time at lunchtime.